During a class observation a while back, a student teacher turned to me and said that she's been using task-based teaching methods like giving students group projects or role plays, but she kept wondering if she's doing it right if they're still using their first language during the task. It's a great question and one that a lot of language teachers ask when trying out task-based language teaching or TBLT. That moment reminded me of a paper that I really appreciated. It's called Advancing the Communicative Language Teaching Agenda. What is the place for translanguaging in task-based language teaching? Written by Professor Martin East and Professor Danping Wang, published in the Language Learning Journal. So, what is TBLT and why does it matter? Let's start with what TBLT actually is. Task-based language teaching is a way of teaching where meaningful tasks are at the center of instruction. So instead of teaching grammar and vocabulary first and hoping the students would apply it later, you start with the task, something authentic like planning a school event, giving directions, or solving a real-world problem. TBLT actually comes out of communicative language teaching, or CLT, which focuses on helping students use language to actually communicate real situations. The idea is that language is best learned by using it, not just by memorizing it. But here's where things get tricky. Many TBLT or CLT classrooms are built on what's called the monolingual principle, the belief that students should use the target language only or as much as possible in class. And that's where this paper steps in. Professor East and Professor Wang argue that the strict target language only approach can actually hold students back, especially during complex tasks where they need time to think, plan, or clarify ideas. And that's where translanguaging becomes helpful, not as a distraction, but as a tool. Now imagine this. You give students a task to plan a community event and then present it to the class in English or in the new language. Some students hesitate. The brainstorming falls flat. There's no energy. But then you say, it's okay to talk it through in your home language first. Just get your ideas flowing. And suddenly they're engaged, they're building ideas, debating, organizing. And then they go back to English or the new language, shape their plan, and give a solid presentation. And that's TBLT supported by translanguaging. And it works because the focus stays on the task and the communication, not on policing language use. So, what does it mean for teachers? Professor East and Professor Wang make the case that we don't have to choose between real communication and the first language. And in fact, strategic use of first language can support students during task planning, clarifying instructions, group discussion before a presentation, and reflecting on how the task went. This doesn't mean abandoning the target language. It means setting students up to succeed in it. So here's the one thing I want you to walk away with. Task-based language teaching is all about meaningful communication, and translanguaging can help get us there. Letting students use their first language doesn't mean we're lowering our expectations. It means we're recognizing that real learning happens when students can bring their whole selves, all their language resources to the task. Now, this doesn't just apply in language classrooms. Let's say you're teaching a science unit about ecosystems, and you might give students a task to create a mini poster comparing two ecosystems. And to support them, you could let them research in their home language, take notes bilingually, or brainstorm with the partner using whatever languages they feel comfortable in. And then they present their findings in English. And teachers can support them by providing a multilingual word wall and sentence stems. And that's translanguaging within a content-based, task-based lesson. Simple and powerful. All right, if this video gave you something to think about, feel free to like, comment, or share. And if you would like more videos that bridge research and real teaching, please consider to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.